Just some video games. Yeah, I hated this game. I spent like a couple hours on it. Never played this one. Although it had the double graphics. I played that for, I don't know, way too many hours. That was horrible. That noise. It sounded like somebody was V-tacking on a heart defibrillator. That one actually had pretty good graphics for it. I tried playing this game and I couldn't figure out the purpose of it. Now that was the one I wanted. Didn't have them. That one had pretty good graphics. But I never understood the purpose of it. Oh, that's realistic. Oh, I used to love that game. Shooting gallery game. Centipede, that kind of sucked. It was no fun after the first 5 minutes. That was a fun game. Of course, the classic. Never played that one. Never played that one either. This could go on for a while. I did play that one. Didn't play the Glider. Did play the arcade version. Oh, Pac-Man was horrible. They butchered that game. That game is stressful. Why would a kangaroo be ringing a bell? Hey, that looked pretty cool. A little laser beam. That was my favorite game right there. Love this game. Not that one. That one sucked. Warlords. Did this for, I don't know, hours. Oh, Moonraker. First Atari game that actually had a tune. Wait a minute, that was Night Driver. Someone gave me that for free, they hated it so much. Oh, that was horrible. I remember the assembly routines for shifting bits, the registers. How they made Night Driver. I don't remember that one. Is that Gorf? Looks like it. Gorf is frog backwards. Nobody ever caught that. That game had good graphics for the time, but it was really repetitively boring. Hubert. Ooh, baseball. It was kind of cool, except there was all this flickering. Football game. Hey, I played that one. I remember that game. I played that one too. I didn't own any of these games. You know, I was always the kid that stayed the night over at someone's house, just so I could play their game system. Then I had to return home to the bare bunk bed that was basically a board with a sheet on it. Wow, those UFOs sure explode like meatballs. Space Invaders. That was kind of fun. I remember that game. Pong. Oh, better baseball. That's a better football, too. The 3D view. Passing. And he gets eaten by something. I don't remember this game. That looked horrible, but I can tell it's Superman. I don't own an Xbox. I never did. I hate joysticks. I can only play using a keyboard and mouse. Hey, there we go. There's the first version. First version Warlord. Ooh, they tried to make games educational even back then. I remember this game. It was so weird. That was Saxon, I think. Huh. I remember most of those games. They were pretty cool. E.T. the best game. E.T. was the worst game. It really was. It was just absolutely stupid. This thing with a floating pizza head. Octavia. That looks like the Star Wars actor, dude. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. I don't play games that are like Crossy Road. Yeah, it's Frogger. Or if someone hacked the Frogger ROM, basically, and they made Gorf. That's why they couldn't call it Frogger, of course, because, lawyers back then were suing people out of existence because they had nothing better to do. They're just like, I've got a $500,000 mansion and nothing to do. Yawn! I'm so bored. I have to sue somebody for name infringement. And meanwhile, there's like people that are on the side of the street begging for food. Could I please have a biscuit, sir? Please? A land of contradictions. No Mousetrap? Hey, I do remember Mousetrap, the game. That was a really good game. I love that, but no one would ever play with me. If I was to buy a console game today, what would it be? I don't think I would buy a console game. I never would. I'll always stick to the PC. Just because of keyboard and mouse. And I know you can hook a keyboard and mouse up to like a PS4 or 5 or whatever the heck they're up to now. I think I played the original PlayStation for a while. Never owned an Xbox because I couldn't stand the damn thumb pads. Those little thumb joysticks. The term all thumbs is a cringe effect for me. I hated playing those games. I can't use my thumbs for exacting movement. Just couldn't do it. Dun, 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 da, 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 da. My dog is asleep. Sleepy, sleepy. She's sleeping. She loves this little thing. It was like $2. We were getting rid of them. Any type of toy that makes noise, she loves it. She carries it around. She thinks it's a puppy or something. News is boring. There's nothing to watch on the news. I got so much to do, it's ridiculous. But I'm just taking a break right now. Got a lot of woodwork to do. It's so sad. I don't understand why people... I mean, I can. It's America, you know? People are discarded like trash on the streets. Just like every other country. Well, most countries. Everyone has a bumper sticker that says, I don't care where you go, you just can't stay here. Fortnite will kind of crossplay between. I didn't never finish yesterday what I was saying. The thing that I've noticed about American goods, at least non-modular, how do you say that? Non-modular ability. Like everything is built to, it's basically, what do you call it? See, back in the 50s, they had a long run of companies competing for quality. That's why you have a lot of stuff from back then that actually survived. The companies that built stuff that were easily replaced. The parts were easily replaceable. It was very easy to fix the cars back then. Then the overseas cars and cars that were in the United States did the same thing. They got this idea that they were losing money to the service market because they wanted people to keep buying new cars because they kept turning them out faster than people were buying them. So what they did, they came up with a genius way to constantly rearrange the inside of the car. So every time they had a base engine, they would constantly rearrange the pipes and the duct work and the sump engine, the transmission. They would change the gear sizes, the ratios, the metal, everything. So all the parts would only be specific to one model or a class of models. And then they would license, of course, the Devil's Brigade, the lawyers, here we go again, would make it illegal for anyone to manufacture parts for their particular thing, their particular car, their particular vehicle, whatever they're making, their tractor. And, well, that's what happens is, you fast forward at the end of that and you see that the company usually dies a slow death. In the beginning, the profits always ramp up, but then it goes down. Companies need to go back to the standard that they started off with, which is making things that are easily fixable, making modular components, things that are easily replaced, because that was the idea a long time ago, and it worked. The stuff that they made in that era, I mean, even the vacuum cleaners are still working today. Now, the things are manufactured for just fractions of the price, but you can't take them apart and fix them. Well, they're not really designed to. I mean, you still can, but like taking that thing apart and trying to redo the seals on it. What's the point, right? I mean, it's because you can't buy the parts. You can't really buy the parts for it. So you usually have to take something apart to figure out what's wrong with it. And the more you take stuff apart, the more you're going to realize that horrible designs. So we went from the 1950s, where we had companies that were creating things that were easily fixable, easily replaceable. All the parts were universally available. You could go down to a corner shop. You could get anything for those cars, right? They were huge gas-guzzling buckets of steel, and they rarely ever rusted because it was quality. So you went from quality to this crazy cryptographic thing where they started mixing all of the parts. So you had now an era that only lasted for 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years at the maximum. And all the parts would only fit for that model or that make. So then metal shops sprang up. And so they started doing metal work. Because it was a big business. You could cut something off and weld something else to the frame and then use a part from another car. And it works as long as you get all your measurements right. But then something else happened. The cars started cramming smaller and smaller parts into a tighter space. And it got to the point now where, like, if you buy a foreign car, if the car has a problem, even though it's cheaper up front, if it has a problem, you are going to pay massive amounts. So you're going to pay like a quarter of the price of the car just to get the car fixed. So, and that's something to consider. It's something that I consider whenever I buy something. It's being able to fix something. Because you want something to last more than a year. You don't want to buy it. Just because someone has a warranty on it doesn't mean you're going to get the warranty. Warranties are bullshit. And if you do a warranty roll call, you're going to see like a million lawyers dressed in pantsuits. And you're going to have to fight through all of that legal jargon just to get any type of service. Now, sometimes when a company gets government assistance, they'll set up a customer assistance line where they help you get through the red tape. And it sort of works, sort of. Sometimes you'll get lucky and sometimes you won't. It's basically like Vegas. You know, you could spend all your money to get down there, have just enough money to put a $20 into a slot machine, and then push the button and bam, you're done. No more Vegas. That was fun. Let's go home. But yeah, if companies actually focused on quality, and I don't mean like insane quality, like, you know, we're selling to millionaires now. That type of insanity. Let's make a drill that costs $4,000. And it only costs $10 to manufacture it. Whoo! Well, okay. Someone's going to figure that out. I mean, they're not that dumb. But I'm talking about quality stuff that's actually meant to last. Like bikes with interchangeable parts. Cars with interchangeable parts. Well, then people would be fixing them and they wouldn't be buying new stuff. No, the money just shifts into the service market. Well, then we'll have to have lawyers and then we'll have to have everything copyrighted, all the parts copyrighted and everything stamped, and we'll have to have a guard out front. And he'll guard the spark plugs. You can only use our patented spark plug. That always fails. It always fails because consumers get wise and they don't buy the shit. They don't buy it. And that is really, you got that mix of people buying serviceable things. When I say serviceable, I mean things you can actually fix yourself, things you can buy parts for, versus some a-hole that's blocking you from buying a part for something because they actually cost, one part costs the same as buying a new unit. What is the point of that? How does that work for the company? All it does is make it so that people can't make it squeezes out all the secondary markets. And you want to know the crazy thing? Third world countries are booming right now for the stuff that we had in the 80s and the 70s over here in our markets. You can travel across the world and you can look at their markets and you'll see that the world's stuff from the 70s is being sold there, and it sells. It's hot. So people buying up all the crap that no one wants in the stores here, and they just fly them over to another market and then become instant millionaires. I wouldn't say instant, but pretty much a guaranteed international trade. But you know how it is. It's a dirty world. You go over somewhere, you start making money, and then they try to say that you've transgressed against some stupid law or something. Yeah, I guess it helps to have people in international circles to get you out of situations like that. But anyway, I tried looking for a PC version of Warlords, but I couldn't find it. That was a really fun game. This is my current tool chest. I don't have many tools, but it helps me to get the job done. I got a few things missing. Something I noticed that when you buy cheaper tool sets, they'll have sockets that are missing. Like they'll have the metric set. They'll be missing 2 or 3 different metric sizes. And then they'll take out the 15mm socket. And of course, you need that for your car. So only in America will you have metric sizes and SAE sizes on the same vehicle. That always makes me laugh. And we can't sell diesels here because there's some kind of legality problem. Even though they're actually better engines. They work better. Get a lot better gas mileage on those things. I don't know why they don't sell them here. We manufacture them. We just don't sell them in the cars here. Doesn't make any sense. But, you know, then again, the whole right to convey issue. We've completely ignored the right for one's person to convey themselves from one location to another. Traversal rights is what they call it, because everything's private property, even the fucking roads. It's like the parks. You can't be on the park. Well, it's public property, right? No, it's not. It's public property, but you got to pay a special license for it. Otherwise, people will just be here, living for free. We can't have that. Can't get out of my ear right now. News is always boring. Boring. Dun, dun, dun. This is pretty cool. I got this flashlight. It's the brightest flashlight I've ever owned. What you doing? Whew. You need to go for a walk. I can tell. Uh-oh. I gotta go take her for a walk. We haven't been out today, so. You want to go for a walk? Yeah. That means yes. I've said it now. I have to do it. Okay. Let's go for a walk. Alright. She's telling me hurry up.